Dating is really hard. It's really hard to get your hopes up about somebody and then
So there's actually a women's loneliness epidemic too. It's just that we will manage our feelings.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we're going to talk about the female epidemic, the one they try to disguise by only talking about the male epidemic, when in reality it's women who are ending up more alone. We want you to smash that like button and help us reach our goal of 1,000 likes on this video. Leave your comment with your experience and wisdom. We always pin the best comment for the community. Subscribe, and let's get started.
dating is really hard. It's really hard to get your hopes up about somebody and then have it not work out. I'm not crying over a man. I'm kind of am, but I also haven't eaten, so I'm emotional. But this is just going to be a really vulnerable post, I guess. I'm trying really hard to put myself out there. I am putting myself out there. But I feel like I don't find a lot of people that I'm interested in or that I'm attracted to or that there's that connection in a multitude of ways. And so when you finally do find somebody like that and it doesn't work, I don't want to say I'm gutted. That's too strong. I'm actually okay. Despite this, I'm actually okay. But it is disappointing because you get excited. Then you have to rally and you have to put yourself back out there. And Merlin series trying to make me feel better. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm bummed and dating gets me down sometimes. And I'm trying to practice what I preach and do everything the right way and meet people in person or on apps. I don't care. I'm not going to discriminate at this point, even though I think the apps suck. But I just really want my person. I'm really tired of being alone. And people will say, like, you will find it when you least expect it. But, like, how are you going to find something if you're not looking, if you're not putting it out there? So I am putting it out there. I'm going through the motions. I'm doing the work. And I just have to remember that I'm not in control and I can only do what I can do. But that really sucks. And I feel like I constantly oscillate between seeing, happy single women on here who are going, pick your partner wisely and just wait and just stay single and everything's fine. And I get that and I believe that. But I think about how happy I've been in my partnerships when I've had them and when they were good. And I miss that feeling so badly. And I don't want to date from a point of desperation because it's not that. And I'm not going to pick somebody just to have somebody. But I'm really tired.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
There's a lot of talk about the male epidemic, but while the media and show business focus on pointing fingers and demonizing men, the uncomfortable truth is that today there are more single women than men, even though they insist on denying it. Many cling to the narrative that they're single by choice, but that's just an illusion they tell themselves to avoid facing reality. Human nature doesn't change. The body and the heart seek the touch of the opposite sex. And even the most empowered woman, like this one, ends up admitting she's tired of going out with her girlfriends, that she misses the warmth of a partner, the kisses and caresses of a man. It was feminists themselves who planted the seeds of this loneliness, teaching women to see marriage as a trap, to treat men as a nuisance, to destroy the male image until many men withdrew from the dating market. And more women are hitting the wall because the wall doesn't forgive.
There's actually a women's loneliness epidemic too. It's just that we will manage our feelings of longing and hunger, and you guys won't. Do you think we like this? Do you think that all the single women in the world like the fact that we cannot find decent human men to spend our time with? Do you think we like that? Do you think we like going years without physical contact with the gender we're sexually attracted to? Do you think we like that? The thing that kills me the most is how many fucking phenomenal single women I know, absolutely wonderful, beautiful, successful human beings I know who happen to be women. I don't know any single men. I don't know any. None. That's fucked up. That's super fucked up. If there are this many of us, there should be this many of them, right? I wonder what they're doing. I wonder what they are. I wonder what they're up to right now. Oh, that's right. They're in my comment section telling me how I'm going to die alone with my cats. Like, that doesn't sound like fun. We're lonely too, bitch. We are lonely too. We're just better at it. We are so much better at handling our feelings of unrequited desire and longing than men choose to be. And yes, it's a choice. You can choose to be happily single. You can choose to find more community around you. You can choose productive ways to spend your time. Or you can sit at home and yell at women you don't know in their comment sections. Up to you.
The truth hurts, and you're feeling it. The reality is that women don't handle loneliness better. They're simply more active in seeking help. First of all, the number one consumers of antidepressants in the world are women, and the ones who go to therapy the most are women. The ones who go out alone or with friends the most are women. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just making the point about who really can't be alone. Don't you see that the first person to betray or distance herself from a woman is another woman who's found a partner? The first thing she does is remove her friend from her life and focus on her partner. Meanwhile, men learn to live without constant validation. They focus on their careers, their physique, their goals, and surrounding themselves with loyal friends. A man knows that attention is a luxury, not a right. That's why he survives the silence, while many of them drown in it.
The male loneliness epidemic. Let's fucking talk about it. There's a male loneliness epidemic, which means there's a shortage of women dating men. Won't someone think of the fucking women? You don't think that I'm fucking lonely with this shortage of decent men to date? You don't think that I feel isolated? You don't think that I don't want to hug and kiss? Like I do. Okay? Women are lonely too. It's just that we know how to shut the fuck up about it. It is disgusting for you to talk about how much you need someone else to do shit for you. Because that's what it is. You're not fucking lonely. You just want a woman to fix shit for you or do things for you emotionally and physically. We're fucking lonely too, dog. We're fucking lonely. We just don't pout about it all fucking day. Because no one fucking cares. No one fucking cares if we're fucking lonely. Just same way I don't fucking care if you're fucking lonely. God! Just shut up. It's giving I need my mommy's bosom. Stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
This is the problem with modern feminist indoctrination. They've drilled into many women's heads that men are useless and can't live without them, as if we were incapable of cooking, cleaning, or maintaining a home. The reality is that plenty of men live better than many single women, with clean houses, finances in order, and a functional life, all without needing anyone to wash a dish for them. What they can't stand is when that narrative falls apart, because when a man brings a woman into his life, his load often doubles. More expenses, more responsibilities, and, many times, zero real help. On top of that, there are those who don't work but still complain about cleaning the house you pay for and set up so they can live comfortably. And if you tell them to get a job to share responsibilities, they call you abusive. The truth is, a man who knows how to take care of himself doesn't need any woman, and that terrifies them, brothers.
So let me get this straight. Women will get trapped in abusive relationships with partners that treat us like shit. And men will tell us, oh, well, that's your fault. You should have picked better. So women say, okay, bet. We will pick better. We are going to raise our standards and stop wasting our time on shitty, mediocre men. And then men turn around and go on their little mantrums about the male loneliness epidemic and tell women that we need to settle. So which is it? Basically, everything is our fault, right? Because God forbid that men take any kind of accountability in their behavior and the way that they treat women. Like, just leave us out of it and go to therapy already, for fuck's sake.
Oh, hell no!
The problem isn't that you've matured or changed your standards. You're still chasing the same type of man. Only now you've added a couple of requirements to disguise the pattern. Before, it was the Chad with nothing to offer. Now it's the same Chad, but with a wallet. And you call that raising your standards. The truth is, you never adjusted your radar. You just became more selective about the superficial. You're not looking for character, commitment, or values. You're looking for the same handsome face or the same rebellious charm, but backed by a bank account. Meanwhile, the man who actually learned from a bad relationship, even if he comes across a physically attractive woman, will choose someone who adds value, supports his vision, and doesn't repeat the behaviors that already cost him time and resources. That's the real change in standards, the one you never made.
If you take a look at the screen right here, these are the most popular searches currently for the past few days or so on this app. And if you see here, struggling with loneliness has the highest search popularity with 1.55 million search popularity. When I tapped on the struggling with loneliness search popularity here, we can see that in the past 7 days, it's gone up by 344%. My mind immediately jumped to what all the news articles in mainstream media are pointing to as a big problem in our country, and that is the, quote, male loneliness epidemic. But see, something that this app also lets you do is you can look at the demographics of who's searching this, and you'll be surprised to see that of the searches, 78% searching that they're struggling with loneliness on this app are women, females, with 96% of them being here in the United States. And it looks as though that it's mostly millennials and Gen Z. This data right here flies in the face of what all these intellectuals are writing in their articles about the quote-unquote male loneliness epidemic. Are we going to see a slew of articles now concerned about millennial and Gen Z women? Of course not. No. Society just won't care enough. And to anyone who's feeling lonely, the first thing I would say to you is, do you understand your loneliness? Have you asked your loneliness why it's there? I know that sounds weird, but for me, I used to feel lonely even in a room full of people. And I became okay with my loneliness so much so that I started to wish that I was invisible. It didn't matter that I was a mom to a healthy, beautiful child because that didn't heal my loneliness. My loneliness was there regardless. Because for me personally, my loneliness was rooted in my lack of self-love and my lack of self-esteem. And so your loneliness may be rooted in something different than how mine was. And that's why I always say, figure out where your loneliness is rooted.
There are over 6 million more women than men, and if we subtract trans men, gay men, already at 21%, something truly concerning, and those still in the closet, you easily end up with 7 million extra women. The problem isn't the statistic, it's what it means. Look at it by age group. From 25 to 35 are the ones still dreaming of starting a family. From 35 to 45 are the ones who've already crashed head-on into the wall and are now single or divorced. These are the same women who once looked down on the average man and now want to convince you that they don't need anyone, while devouring articles and videos selling them the lie that men have it worse. The truth is, a man doesn't lose sleep over being alone. He's busy with his career, his life, his peace. The one who can't stand loneliness is her, and that's why she needs the narrative that he's suffering too. But brother, don't get it twisted. She doesn't care about your life. She only cares that hers doesn't look so empty.
Women.
I looked within myself 5 years ago, and that's when I came to the conclusion that my loneliness, my discontentment was rooted in a lack of self-love and self-esteem. And that's when I decided once and for all, I was going on a self-love journey. And I didn't have anyone guiding me. I just said, I'm going to put one foot in front of the other, and I'm just going to do the next best thing I know how. And when all else fails, I'm going to tell myself everything will be okay. And I started out my self-love journey just by looking at myself in the mirror and telling myself, you're beautiful, you are worthy of love, you are a kind person, you're a good-hearted person. And at first, it felt so uncomfortable. I was clearly lying to myself in the mirror. It felt uncomfortable for about a month. But I kept at it, and eventually that discomfort that I felt when I would tell myself nice and kind things in the mirror, it went away. Within about 3 or 4 months, I noticed that the patterns in my brain, they shifted. The voices in my head, they weren't so mean anymore. If you struggle with that, I challenge you to just go into the mirror, and even when it feels like your skin is crawling, even when it feels so uncomfortable, like you're lying to yourself, I want you to gaslight yourself and look in the mirror and tell yourself, even if you don't believe it, you are beautiful, you are powerful, you are worth it, you are wonderful, you deserve love, and you deserve to love yourself. I was miserable for so long, and I completely transformed my life 5 years ago when I decided to finally choose to accept myself, to love myself, to befriend myself. And that loneliness, that's a part of my past. I have less people in my life now than I did then, and I don't feel that loneliness anymore. So if you were like me and your loneliness was rooted in a lack of self-love, in a lack of self-esteem, then comment down below, because this is something that I love to talk about, because when I tell you, I don't even recognize my life anymore.
Self-love is fine, but what we have today is selfishness disguised as empowerment. Modern women have bought into the lie that serving a man is degrading, when in reality, it's about adding value to his life and earning his respect. In the past, it was understood that a home was built by two. Today, they're convinced that the right thing to do is put their energy into everything except their partner, and then they wonder why they end up alone. And the most absurd part is that while women are becoming more masculine and repeating the "I don't need a man" mantra, trans men are massively consuming traditional women's content to imitate that femininity, something many natural-born women have abandoned. Incredible, there are men trying to be more feminine than women themselves. And let's not forget who profits from all this: corporations and pharmaceutical companies that thrive on single women dependent on consumption. Botox, egg freezing, unnecessary treatments, a multi-billion-dollar market fed by their loneliness. Meanwhile, they happily repeat the mantra that men are alone and it's their fault, without realizing the system prefers them this way, isolated, spending, and without a man who'll tell them the truth. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, here are the questions for you. What do you think is the reason there are more lonely women? Why is there talk only about the male epidemic and not the female one? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.